Well, I did feel like a very strong pressure to fit in and like not rock the boat or just like laugh things off. And I think I did do that a lot. And I also know that I did like commit microaggressions to other people. I was as clueless as I thought I was. I had good friends. I remember senior year in honors English, we sat down at the same table and I asked you what you were reading. And you were like, well, there's this like Black Panther's recommended reading list, or I don't know if that's true, or if it was like recommended by like
probably something
a Black Panther party leader or something like that. And you're like, so I'm reading such and such, some like classic Black philosopher or something. And I was like, Bruce, are you getting radical? I was like, you're reading what? And you were like so patient. You were like, well, I don't know. You might like question that and like that immediate like fear that you are feeling when I say Black Panthers. Like they did a lot of really great things in this list that I'm reading. It's like actually really amazing, and like this, you're like, this is a good book. Like you kept it really simple. And like you used like in words that I could understand, like you just kind of like de-threatened it, which you're like still doing. It's like your job.
I would do a much better job.
No, you did such a good job. I mean, I never like figured out who the Black Panthers were until I was like assigned reading later, until I like had to, but you're like sort of the beginning, like just like normalizing it. I had a couple of girlfriends who were thinking about like gender queerness and reading about stuff. I think reading was like really big for people who were like wanting to figure out who they were and like weren't getting it from kind of like the social norms. I know reading No Boy by John Okada was like kind of a big thing for me, starting to like think about my family history. He was a Japanese American who was interned during World War II, and when they did those little like questionnaires that they gave to all like young Japanese men that were like, are you a loyal American and will you fight in the army? And you had to either write like, yes, I'm American and yes, I'll fight in the army, or no, I'm not an American and no, I won't. And so the people who chose not to fight in the army were revoking their citizenship. And because they wrote no, they were called No Boys. And so it wasn't until I read that book for English that I started asking questions about my grandpa, who was also a No boy. And I remember that it just like armed me with good questions that I hadn't thought about. And all of a sudden I was going to my mom and being like, well, why did he choose no? And how old was he? And did he ever regret that? And did he ever feel ashamed that he was a no boy? And did he have friends from the camps afterwards? And it just like gave me the questions that I like didn't know how to ask before.